Hello and welcome back to Radio Language. My name is Vlad and I'm going through my bookcase once again. So the first book today is a Russian and Bulgarian phrase book. And this is quite a cool book. I got this when I was in Russia. And the really interesting thing about this book, I can actually look at the similarities and differences between Bulgarian and Russian. So, for example, we have the Russian, I don't know how well the camera will show it, but you've got the Russian here, then the Bulgarian, and then this column is the phonetic pronunciation of Bulgarian, but in how Russian, for Russian speakers. So the words in orange, which I've highlighted here, are similar between the two languages, and both Bulgarian and Russian are Slavic languages. Bulgarian is a southern Slavic language, and Russian is an Eastern Slavic language. But Russian had a huge influence from Old Bulgarian and Church Slavonic. So I've always been curious to look at how these two languages are actually related to one another. I'll probably do a video about both these languages individually, but also do a comparison video of these two languages. But it's good to have, I'm just more, for example, in Russian, you say the word for hello is здравствуйте. So здравствуйте is hello. Now I apologize for my Bulgarian pronunciation. Здравейте. Or if you want to say how are you in Russian is как дела. In Bulgarian is как сте. And then the word for excellent is in Russian отлично or отлично. And then in Bulgarian is отлично. I don't quite know, but I do a video about these two languages and do more comparisons, but I'm still going through this book and highlighting some of the similarities and differences. So there's this little book. The next book is quite cool. This is a English and Lithuanian dictionary and phrase book, I believe. I think it's more of a dictionary, but it's got words in Lithuanian than in English. And this is quite a cool book. Lithuanian is a Balto-Slavic language, very closely related to Latvian, Latgalian, and the extinct language Prussian, and also dialects spoken within Latvian Lithuania. I was trying to learn a little bit of Lithuanian when I went traveling there, just a few basic phrases, some words, but it's a cool language. I'll do a video about the Lithuanian language. The next book is interesting. I got this not because I really want to learn Chinese, but I just thought it was interesting to have. It's Chinese with ease, and I believe this is more looking at the Mandarin Chinese. But the cool thing about this book is it gives you sort of the pronunciation of the Chinese. So this is Chinese written in its traditional script that it's used, and then this is the phonetic pronunciation, or Chinese written in a Romanized alphabet. And it's quite cool. I mean, would I ever learn Chinese? Maybe I might learn a little bit. I know some things in Chinese, like ni hao, ni hao ma, like hello, how are you? But I got this in a charity shop, and I didn't highlight this. This book came like this, so I wonder why. I'm gonna figure out why they highlighted all this stuff. But it's good because it gives you the English translation as well. So it's a pretty cool book to have. So I might do a video about Chinese language and show where it comes from, what languages it's related to, and things. This next book is El Hobbit, and this is in Spanish. And I've been collecting this book in multiple different languages. I have it in German, in Dutch, in Italian, in Latvian. So it's a cool book. Again, I've learned a bit of Spanish because I have friends from Spain, and I try to learn a little bit here and there, speak with them, and I can read Spanish a lot better than speak it. I did study Spanish for about a year in a night class, the evening class of Spanish. So that was good fun. I started with the basics and then worked my way up. But it's a good book to have. The reason why I have this book is I can take this. I show this in all my videos, but take the first paragraph of this first chapter and compare it with other languages I have. This book is the same book, but this is actually in Latvian, and as I said before, Latvian is a Balto-Slavic language closely related to Lithuanian and Latgalian. And I got it for the same reasons. I got this when I was in Latvia. I was learning Latvian for a bit. I was in Latvia for a year working there. So my Latvian got to a point where I could read basic things and have very simple conversations, ask directions. I would like, how much is this? And I couldn't have a conversation in Latvian. I mean, Latvian is a very difficult language, but again, it's a really cool book. I'd like to read this at some point and see how much of Latvian I've forgotten. The next book is Dutch verbs, I believe. It's a phrase book, and it's really cool. I got this again because I was trying to learn a bit of Dutch, and when I say I try to learn all these languages, I'm not trying to become fluent in them. I just want to learn. If I'm traveling to a country, I like to learn at least 10 phrases and 40 words minimum, and then take it from there, depending on the language. But again, I've highlighted some of the similarities and differences between Dutch and English. So all the words in blue here are related to English and Dutch. So the Netherlands is a Western Germanic language, along with English and German and Afrikaans and Frisian, Luxembourgish and Yiddish. It's a cool language. So I was in Holland for a while, or the Netherlands as it's known as, and I tried to learn a bit of Dutch. I got to a point where I could read a lot of things, and again, like with my Latvian. The next book also is in Netherlands, and this is Die Kleine Prince. I apologize for my pronunciation, but I have this book in multiple different languages. I'm trying to collect this book in as many languages as possible, so I can again do language comparisons. So this is the first page, so I can take this first kind of page and compare it, and but it's cool. I mean, I can read bits of this here and there. There's a lot of words I can kind of understand because they're quite close to English, but then they are completely different words as well. So I'll do a video about Dutch and do like a comparison video as well between English and Dutch. So this next book is in German, and German is a Western Germanic language, and this is all about buildings and the different types of architecture. And I found this in a charity shop, and I just found it so interesting, sort of, to have all of these, it has lots of pictures in it, which always help. Sometimes, I mean, my German is not that great. I can read bits and pieces. I can read a very, very basic children's book in German, but that's about it. I tried to learn a bit of German because I have some friends from Germany, but this goes through all the different styles of architecture, and so here we've got some Gothic churches. The next book is Wycliffe's Dialogues, and this is I believe this is in Middle English. So it's probably different manuscripts written. I don't know exactly what this book is. I got this a while ago, but I never really read it. But it's an interesting book. So this is one of the original manuscripts from which is talked about in this book, and it's a dialogue. So dialogue between John and Richard. I don't know who these people are, but it's interesting because it does show. I don't know how well the camera can focus, but it does show Middle English possibly. I'm not quite sure exactly when the date of this language is, but Middle English was a stage of English. So we had Old English, Middle English, and then modern day English, what I'm speaking now. So I'll do a video about Middle English and probably use some examples from this book. I don't know if it gives you it does in the back, it's quite good. It gives you a dictionary, so I can look at some of the words and do a comparison list again. And the last book for today is Learn English Through Hindi, and I got this when I was in India, and I was trying to learn a bit of Hindi, and it's quite cool. I mean, it's got a lot of different phrases in English, in Hindi than in English, and it gives you the pronunciation of the Hindi, which is really useful because I can't read the Hindi alphabet because it's very difficult to learn, and it's but it's nice to sort of have it, so I can actually try and pronounce things. So I'll probably do a video about Hindi and explain it more. It's an Indo-Iranian language closely related to Punjabi, Nepali, Bengali, Sinhala, Marathi, and a few others too. Also to Sanskrit as well. But it's a cool book to have. I thought, might as well try and learn some Hindi. I think if I was to try and learn a language properly, I think Hindi would be one of them. But that's it for today, and I really hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Peace out.